Hey everybody, welcome to Casks-n-Que, where whiskey and barbecue meet. I'm your host, Justin Lloyd, and today we're going to be cooking some spare ribs. Okay, so we have a couple racks of spare ribs here, and we're going to do a Central Texas style, salt and pepper, and we're probably going to add a little bit of sauce just for color and a little bit extra flavor as well to that particular rack. The other rack, we're going to do a Memphis dry rub. We're going to use the local barbecue company's rub today called Count Porkula, just the rub, and I'll include it in the link up here. So let's go ahead and get these ribs rubbed and get them out to the smoker. So the first rack we're going to go ahead and season with Count Porkula, the rub, and the second rack we're going to use just salt and pepper. We're going to keep it real basic, Central Texas style. So let's go ahead and get this rub applied to this first rack. Again, this is Count Porkula's the rub. Like to get a nice even coat. And today I didn't take off the membrane on the back of the rack. I just didn't feel it needed to be done. It's not something I do every single time. A lot of times it's just a time saver. And I also feel like sometimes it helps retain some moisture, which makes for a juicier rib. And who doesn't want a juicy rib? So we're gonna apply this pretty liberally. Again, this is the Memphis style. We're only a couple hours from Memphis here in Bryan, Arkansas. So I have a pretty good familiarity with what a Memphis dry rub is supposed to be. And Count Porkula does a really good job on their rub, so that's why I'm choosing to use it today. So we're gonna get this good and coated. We're even gonna hit the end. Make sure we apply the rub everywhere. Rub is flavor. Pat that in. Don't ever actually rub your rib. That kind of creates a paste and smears the rub everywhere. Nobody really likes that. And if it's not applied evenly, it just ain't right. That looks pretty good to me. We'll go ahead and hit the edges a little more. Go ahead and season the back, just to say we did it. All right, that's good enough. We're gonna call that one ready for the smoker. We're gonna be smoking on the Blaze Kamado today. I already got a couple chunks of cherry wood in the smoker, and we're gonna be ready to go here in just a minute. So we're gonna go ahead with a Central Texas style rub here, which consists of coarse ground salt and black pepper. I use a 16 mesh black pepper and just regular coarse salt. Don't wanna go too heavy. Just a nice, even, light application. Go ahead and hit the edges. Might be a little bit much, but that's all right. We're just cooking for the family here. This is not a competition. One of these racks came already cut down to St. Louis style, and one didn't. So I went ahead and did all that trimming and everything before I started the video. So there's 1,000 different videos on how to trim a St. Louis style spare rib. And I'm sure you fine folks can figure that out. All right, these look good and seasoned to me. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and head out to the smoker. I got it running at about 225 with some cherry chunks in it. I like the way the flavor and the color come together when we're using cherry wood. So let's go out to the smoker. These ribs are looking really good, so we're gonna get them on the smoker. I like to kind of angle them, or square them up, I should say, just for a neater presentation. Quiet dog. All right, those are looking good. As you can see, these ribs are looking really good. The Central Texas style rib here is firmed up nicely. It's got a good bark on it, salt and pepper only. And then the Count Porkula rubbed rib, the Memphis style, is looking really good. We're getting some exposed bone. So I think at this point we're gonna go ahead and wrap. We'll be right back and show you that whole process. All right, so I went ahead and took the ribs off the smoker. We have 3 slices of butter on each aluminum foil. One of them is the Central Texas and the other is the Memphis dry rub. So we're gonna go ahead and get these ribs put on. They have nice color to them. And we're gonna do meat side down. These are already smelling good. And they look fantastic. So we're gonna go ahead and sauce these guys as well. Since our spritzer broke, we're back to a mop. I actually need to turn these back over to hit the top, obviously. So that's looking good. And there's no reason to be nice and tidy. This is barbecue. It gets messy sometimes. So let's just slather that on there. That's all gonna help the ribs with flavor. It's gonna help it with moisture. And it's gonna help it with color. All right, let's hit these. Already getting a lot of pullback on the bones. It's looking really good. All right, go ahead and flip these bad boys over. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this Memphis style rib nice and slathered. That sauce is smelling awesome. I cannot wait to try these. I usually don't eat all these. A lot of times I'll give them away to my neighbors and friends. Sometimes. All right, we are almost there. Okay, looks pretty good to me. So let's set this off to the side. I've also prepared a couple sheets of foil to go on the top because these are not quite the right size. So we're going to go ahead and wrap these up. Nice and tight. That actually might make it. I thought I was going to have to use another sheet for each one, but that one looks okay to me. All right, everybody, those ribs are really hot, so I had to go get some gloves. So let's take a look at this Central Texas style. Oh yeah, it's looking good, left behind a lot of juice. So we're just gonna wrap that up and put that off to the side. And here is our Memphis style dry ribs. It smells delicious. Bit of a delicate process here. All right, get these guys flipped over. Ooh, that's piping hot. Yikes. All right, so we'll move this off to the side. That's a really pretty color, a good mahogany. Nothing looks too burnt. Ribs are exposed, the bones are exposed, I should say. So I think we're gonna call that one good. We're gonna let that sit for a minute. And we're gonna go ahead and slice into this Texas style. Central Texas style, that should be specific. Man, this is tender, cutting really easily. Man, you know I gotta get in there and try this one. I don't know if you can see that. Got a pretty good smoke ring. Lots of juice. Tender, delicious barbecue. Let's take a bite. Oh man. A clean bite. Great smoke ring, lots of pepper, salt. You can taste that spritz that we had on there, or the mop rather. Let's get a good look at that. Just an excellent flavor. All right, since we're nice and messy, let's go ahead and get into this Memphis style rack here. And I can already tell you, juices are just running out of this thing. It's gonna be delicious. All right. Got a great smoke ring on this one. This is gonna be a really delicious bite. Looking forward to it. Got a good smoke ring. We got the Count Porkula, the rub sprinkled on top. Let's take a bite. Oh man, that's something else. I gotta tell you, I've always been partial to Memphis style barbecue ribs, and today did not change my opinion. The Count Porkula rub is excellent. There's nothing wrong with salt and pepper. It's just a little boring sometimes. It's great on brisket and beef, but on my ribs, my pork ribs, there's just something to be said for Memphis style. In my opinion, there are very few things in this world that go as well together as a great bourbon with barbecue. And today, we've got a good one. Blanton's, the original single barrel bourbon whiskey. Let's go ahead and pour a glass. Today was our first video. We plan to roll out some more really soon. So go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. I'd love to hear back from you. All opinions are welcome. Cheers.